Wait, what? You mean I didn't get this uploaded after the Switch's successor launched? I might actually be getting better, just like Nintendo's strategy, except for the shortcomings. Cause hey, sometimes you gotta look bad to be really good. There are a number of games that I can proudly say, I bought whatever this was supposed to be, and had fun, even if nobody believes me. Doesn't matter if the game made good use of the gimmick pad or was on another system. What mattered was whether it was worth putting in the console and spending quality time with it. Big disclaimer here, I don't have Bayonetta 2, and there is no game on the list that has Mario in the title. Thanks for stopping by, have a good day. For those left waiting, let's start it off! Do you guys remember what I said in the favorite Wii games list part 1? You know about the whole balanced, fair, and critical as possible thing, and how that all gets chucked out the window when it comes to personal lists? Have you caught on to where I'm going with this? I don't care what reviewers and fans may say. If I find even a few parts that I really get into, then I'm gonna play it for as long as I can. And after being starved for nearly 10 years, these crumbs are like a feast to me. I'm calling bias now, so you'd be copying me, poser! I'm never gonna hear the end of this, but I can't help it! There's no way I could! I asked for this combination! I have to show a little gratitude.
What about those controls that were made to be the opposite of a good time?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at, trust me. But, would you believe me if I said I figured out how to master them by accident while recording the footage for this? Yeah, I don't blame you. They're unconventional, the game is short, the gamepad is a definition of forced gimmick, and the gyro wing is as clunky as trying to say its name right without having to stop and sound it out. I'll take the good old R-wing and even the walker any chance I get. So while I imagine everyone has already sighed, thumbed this video down and left 10 seconds ago, I'm just saying, oh, look at that close call! I love pulling those off! I've broken through the enemy shield, and now I'm gonna wreck their ship up! That Mach speed level is such a tease! It's my nightmare revived, and I can't stop screaming! I got some entertainment in this one, but don't think for a second that it was worth the decade wait. Are there games on the Wii U that are better than this that aren't on the list? I'd be drowning in delusion if I disagreed, but the game attacks my glowing weak point. Levels with lots of action and have instant access to, so I don't have to play through the entire game again, and that's what keeps me in the cockpit. If it didn't have that, it would have zero chance of being on here, and I probably would have put up something like Batman Arkham City Armored Edition, or the crazy fan user-made levels in Super Mario Maker, possibly even the minigames that I enjoyed in Game & Wario, or more than likely, Mario Kart 8. I better stop this before it becomes a list of its own. So while I'm sure only about 2 people were glad to see number 10, I think a larger number will enjoy this next entry. If it's bigger than the kill count, then I might just be redeemed here. If you just want to unwind, relax, and tear through mindless cronies in a heartbeat, then send an evening for Hyrule Warriors.
But what about Breath of the Wild?
I only need one version, and look at the shirt. As far as Zelda spin-offs go, this is one of the better ideas that not only fit its setting and style, but I don't think Hyrule Tennis would have sounded as exciting. We've already done that to death. Yes, I have made notice of its repetitive nature in my review, but I do have this as a guilty pleasure for being simple enough to enjoy and just the right amount of flashy to glue my eyes to the screen. Being able to carve through waves of brain-dead enemy hordes without blinking and get rewards off a checklist can be hard to take a break from. More challenging than charging through the enemies that can't figure out they outnumber the one guy actually doing anything. I call them brain dead, but even that might be a compliment, as I swear I've seen these guys actually cheer after I plowed through a battalion of them.
Whoa, that was so cool!
What a beautiful beating that was!
Kill me next! Kill me next!
That story mode, it had a woohoo adventure mode! Who needs that boring, uninspired plot anyway? See a thing, kill a thing, get a reward by solving a simple puzzle, meet the criteria, and feel good. But I don't think I'll be getting Fire Emblem Warriors. One hack-and-slash game is enough for me. Unless they come out with Donkey Kong Country Warriors, cause face it, that sounds too stupid to not be fun. Delays are supposed to be a good thing, 99% of the time. Need more days, weeks, or years to make that game as amazing as it can be? Oh hey, Rayman Legends! Totally didn't see you coming from that setup. The demo and daily challenges were what got me hooked, and nearly everyone with a Wii U couldn't stop trying to break records. This is gonna be a great killer app for the system. Wait, what do you mean you're not an exclusive title anymore? You're porting it to everything you can? Well, let me know what the NES version looks like. Oh, me and my big fat mouth. Well, I guess when the game is this good and you don't have a console to call your own, why wouldn't you want to share it with everyone? In my honest thoughts, Origins was a solid yet basic by-the-books 2D platformer, and yet Legends knows how to get my attention. Yes, it came with glorified escort missions that showed up more than I would have liked, but to me they felt like puzzle elements blended into a platformer, and that's why you should buy Box Boy because it's fantastic! What was I saying? Oh right, Legends. Even if you like Origins more, it has a lot of its levels in the game, so it's basically a 2-for-1 deal. Yeah, it's a lot of the same, but it's the way it's changed that I like. I'm not a fan of chasing after stuff because of the frustration of it getting away, scripted or not, but being chased gives me an adrenaline chill thrill. The music portions felt far more memorable to me, either because the music felt catchier, or had fantastic set pieces, or both. And it's got 5-player co-op without a life system. Instant fun afternoon! But like Breath of the Wild, I don't think I need another version. Unless it gets online 5-player co-op, let me know if future port gets that one. It can be said that you can learn more from failing than achieving. I want to believe that the Switch's current success is evident of that, even if it isn't that powerful. But at least the Big N did learn one thing while they were still in the sinking SS Wii U. They can't make enough games themselves, and third parties are busy making games for systems that can handle them. So who can they turn to? We call them Nindies. This is what a retro love letter to 8-bit games looks like, and the Big N were swooned after reading it. They published the game in Japan, and it was the first indie character to get their own amiibo. It practically became the poster boy for indies overnight, and almost every other indie had to invite him to their party. Runbow, Azure Striker Gunvolt 2, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Blaster Master Zero, Yooka-Laylee, and the list goes on! The big question is, does he deserve it for only having one game and 3 free DLC packs? Well, he's 7th place, so I'll say sure, why not? Tight controls, very level designs, hidden items that give you more abilities, a satisfying challenge, a memorable soundtrack, and the feeling that there's more to the characters than we get. My only real concern is that the game seems to juggle too many elements from old school games, that the title feels more like a fusion of classic gems instead of having its own identity. And when that's the biggest problem with the game, you're allowed to ignore it. For now. Speaking of which, I've been told that the Shovel Drop is based on Zelda 2 and not DuckTales on the NES. Although I don't see a citation for this, and I couldn't find the article that has that quote from the creator. If anybody has a link to it, I'll pin it in the comments. I'm still hoping we get Shovel Knight 64 one day. 6th place. I did originally have Mario Kart 8 take up residence on this list, and then I noticed I had one game too many. Yeah, I still have my issues with the title, but it's become a love-hate relationship. But what really cost it a spot is that there's already another mascot racing game on the Wii U that practically gave me what I wanted right at the start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, quite easily the best Sonic game on the Wii U. Do we really want to argue that?
Can we go back to drag racing? Catching rings is boring.
I went into this not really expecting anything, only to come away feeling like it's one of the best arcade racers I've played, right up there with its inspiration and Double Dash. I know it will sound as if I'm bashing Mario Kart 8 if I explain why I hold Sonic Racing T in higher regard, but that's not the case. I just want to be clear about this. I can use any item I get for either offense, defense, or just to go scenic. I cannot say the same about these. Even Nintendo is aware of how much they suck! What's that? They let you unlock stuff? Well, I remember when just being good at the game got you the same thing months earlier! Sorry, it's just... I don't have anything good to say about these, and they always leave me feeling disappointed, which happens a lot because of how much they show up. In fact, the coins in Sonic Racing T can only be picked up off the ground and used to potentially get small bonuses. It boils down to the point that Sonic Racing T focuses more on skill rather than random luck, such as dodging the far superior version of the blue shell or successfully driving when your controls are reversed. The soundtracks? Well, I'd honestly have to give it to Mario Kart 8, but that's like saying I prefer $1,010 over $1,009. You won't lose much to go with either one. The courses? There's no way I can be fair with that one. The way Sonic Racing T transforms the tracks is a thing of beauty. Though I must give credit to the DLC maps and older revives in Mario. Mario Kart 8 does feel like it has a better handle on its controls, though that's not to say Sonic doesn't allow you to optimize your performance, and while both games offer that, it just feels more instant to understand in Kart 8. But the final category is the single-player content, and Mario just can't keep up with Sonic here. Bonus, Sonic invited Wreck-It Ralph. I just like that, who doesn't? I completely understand and respect if you prefer the ex-plumber in this genre, and there are times where I wonder what the next update might fix/mess up, but this is the one time where I feel a Sonic spin-off actually outdoes a Mario spin-off. Never thought I'd see the day. I should just keep asking Nintendo for more stuff. Feels like they listen to me. This was kinda hard for me to decide on its placing. Splatoon definitely deserves a spot on here, there's just no question. It's Nintendo's most successful new IP in years. And I know I was foaming at the mouth to get my hands on this game, and after trying the global test fire, the only thing I could do was count the seconds before it's released. I was so hooked I could see this game when I closed my eyes. It's a fresh spin on the online team-based third-person shooters, finally giving us something to play online besides racing and Smash. Its single-player campaign, while devoid of replay value, was at the very least competent. But everyone knows that it was an online mode that glued you to the game, and therein lies why I can't put it any higher. Once the online mode dies, so does the strongest ability to go back and play it. Yeah, the aforementioned single-player mode could be a reason, and if you're somehow able to get some fun in the two-player offline... I can't say it with a straight face. Look, if you had the system, you had or wanted Splatoon. I wouldn't be surprised if people bought a Wii U just for this title. And with Splatoon 2, there's even less of a reason to go back. It's pretty much dead at this point, but that's why I'm paying my respects now. Love you, new squids on the block. But what were they thinking when they did that SpongeBob Splatfest? How could you not have Squidward as a team? I guess they didn't care about Miiverse after all. When Nintendo announces a new system, there's one thing I can't help but look forward to: beloved franchises in a new light. Yes, sadly there are those that remain in the shadows, but just the idea of a series that went dormant getting a chance to tell another story is one of my favorite things about this industry. So let me spin you a yarn about Pikmin 3. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. That almost sounds insulting. It deserves to be called better. But I couldn't find any words that surpass that, so I see it as the most polished looking game on the Wii U. I will always look at Pikmin 1 as one of the most visually impressive games on the GameCube, and number 3 makes its legacy proud. God, I want to have a bite of that watermelon! Brand new locations, new Pikmin to recruit, and new obstacles to overcome. Is it the toughest challenge in this series to date? No, but I'd say the difficulty curve is on point. The bosses feel larger than life despite being smaller than a boot, and they will take some time to learn how to be conquered. Learning, planning, mapping, and then redoing the day to correct all your mistakes? Sounds like a hassle, but only if you don't care about these guys, you monsters. Might I add that this game actually takes advantage of the gamepad by having it act as an overhead map that can also send the other two captains to perform another task. Makes you feel like it's really something special, and wish that other developers could have capitalized on that magic. Charming, captivating, I'm no less than content with this game. It's hard to say I like the Wii U and not have some laughter heard in the background. It was a commercial failure for the big end. Third parties were living it up on other platforms, and Primal Groudon just wouldn't go away for months. Need killer games. So let me rephrase my earlier statement. I like the Wii U, but it is my least favorite Nintendo home console, and I don't have or count the Virtual Boy. That said, 2013 was one of its better years with titles like Game & Wario, Pikmin 3, Wind Waker HD, Rayman Legends, and maybe that one. But for myself, and maybe a few others out there, I feel that the crown jewel of that year goes to the most underrated gem I've experienced since Sin and Punishment Star Successor! You ever play a game where you just had to play through each chapter to see how it ends, but you actually feel so exhausted both physically and emotionally that you don't have the strength to play anymore, and yet it kills you to take a break? You will if you pick up this one, and you'll love every second of it. Looks like Pikmin, plays like nothing else. Simply put, it's a beat-em-up game, but by making patterns, you unite morph. Form small weapons, big weapons, and good lord, that's a big weapon! Or have a bunch of them. Part of the combo system is how you combine different attacks to get better rankings. Now, what's a common problem in beat-em-ups? Not enough variety? Ha! Is this game's response. It knows how to keep the game from being stale. The bosses are on a whole nother level of impressive. And that magnificent soundtrack gives you the true sense of being a comic book superhero and knowing when to hit all the right notes for the feelings of self-encouragement, dire situations, and triumph in the face of overwhelming odds. Too much thought went into this game, and it hurts that it's sold poorly. Granted, yes, there are some little hiccups here and there, the team not knowing how to go into positions, getting hit off screen, and the whole we try to take advantage of the gamepad thing, but the sheer satisfaction I've gotten while playing one of Platinum's most overlooked classics is almost unmatched. Here's to a port, or a sequel, or both on the Switch! Did I just ask Nintendo for something? Fingers crossed!
Oh, come on, why isn't Retro doing Metroid or these Star Fox?
Nobody asked for a sequel to Donkey Kong Country Rehashed.
This is the low point of the whole E3 Direct.
So hot! Hot, hot, hot! Woo-hoo-hoo! Feels so uplifting to be in that minority. Wouldn't you agree, Cartoon Gamer? Retro was only testing their feet in the water in returns. Tropical Freeze showed us the depths they could go, and man does it make me want an icy when I say its name. Okay, yes, the lack of Kremlings and animal bodies bothers me to a gnat-sized degree, but we did get 2 more Kongs, powerful new moves, underwater sections that are hard to complain about, a new threat that feels like it fits the DKC universe better than the last attempt, and the vast level variety that not only lives up to the series staple, but gosh, how do you come up with so much genius while being tougher than a bowl of nails without milk? And the return of David Weiss to the series makes it feel like I'm home. Sure, I could ask for more cherries on top, but this complex dessert is one of the finest 2D platformers I've tasted in years. Retro, I beg you, please make it a trilogy like you did with the Prime series, then I'll understand and quietly and patiently wait for the next series you tackle. Sincerely, one happy and grateful fan. P.S. Love you guys. As if you didn't already know. A part of me is saying that when the Switch version of Smash, be it an enhanced port or a new installment comes out, this will suffer the same fate as Splatoon, and that could very well be the case, especially since there's no strong single-player campaign or platform mode like Adventure, Subspace, and Smash Run. And yet the hours I've put into the online mode say that I've already gotten a lifetime play out of it. Does it shake things up? Nope, don't want it to either. The last thing the series needs is an unnecessary gimmick that detracts from the core of the fun. All they had to do is focus on tightening up the mechanics and the fan service, giving the fans what they want, who they want, and lots more of it. Want a good multiplayer party fun time game? How about a more intense one-on-one fighter? Want some jankiness?
What?
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend this game is perfect, but when some of its flaws have charm, how can you not want to hug it? I could talk about Smash all day long, and you can bet that I'm not done making Smash lists. Some of them you might be looking forward to more than others. And until it makes its move to the Switch, I'll see you in the For Glory tourney mode. Oh wow! Even the tourney mode screen isn't free from messed upness, dang! And that'll do for this list, and if you have a difference of opinions, I'd love to see your list of 10 favorite Wii U games. Let's face it, it's the jankiness that steals the show. You just can't look away from it. So how about a video plug? This one goes out to Scott the Woz and his video on the history of Smash rumors and leaks. I really hate how some channels aren't getting the love they deserve, and you'll see what I mean when you check this one out. Look, if you love Smash and remember some of the stuff back in the day, check out this incredibly well-made video, and with that, I'll get back to work on this review. Later, everyone!